Um, okay. No other major thoughts there. So that was news point one. News point two is finally we have some renderings of Beaver Stadium of what the West Side expansion is going to look like from the inside of the stadium. I'm guessing now that the ones that we've been seeing of the outside of the stadium are basically confirmed at this point, particularly because they've basically developed a logo around it and all of these other little things. Um, I don't know that I necessarily have a thought on the outside. I'm glad that they didn't go with the Sandy Barber brick house look. That would be my biggest plus side. The inside, I think, from what I've seen, it was pretty much about what I expected. I thought there was going to be three decks or three tiers to it, and there's four. I thought the interesting most notable thing was the 75. I think it's 75% of the seats will be for the average Joe. Now I wonder how that looks and shakes out because most of those seats aren't going to have chair backs, which I think that was probably one thing that a lot of fans had wanted and pined for. And now that they're not getting, I'm a little surprised by that, but I also think that that's probably has to relate to the fact that capacity is staying the same. And I think the biggest takeaway there is the thing I was thinking about that like 107K Strong has become a brand for Penn State or a brand feature for Penn State, not necessarily a brand per se. And I don't know that they would want to take that away. And I think that's part of, aside from the home field advantage thing, an interesting aspect to the renderings and some of the information that we got. But I don't know. No,
you're not sure it's not going to be 102K strong as a result of this, right? They said over 100. Nobody's guaranteed you 107 still.
But think about they squeeze an extra 30,000. Yeah, no, not 30. 3,000 in there to get to 110 for the Ohio State game. So they're going to get there. Mathematically, they're going to figure out a way to get there. I think is what's going to happen.
I think the non-seat backs other places just prevents you from having to do renovations at those other places, and it makes the 25% more attractive for somebody who's like, okay, do I want to be on the east side and whatever else, or do I want to step up on the west side and be able to pay for a seat back and feel more like a club or whatever else kind of thing. So I think you got to have that mix of inventory for people, different price points for people to jump in and whatever else. So. And that allows them too, when you do the math on the average ticket price for the 100,000 seats or plus whatever the number is when you're done, the 75% of like non-seat backs pull that number down a little bit and allow you to say the average seat, the average season ticket holder price is this, because the club seats aren't making up as big a proportion of it.
I think it was good on Penn State to get out in front of that. I think that had been the major issue because much of the marketing or discussion around the stadium renovation had been, we need to find ways to increase our revenue through premium seating. Many of the surveys about premium seating, most of the emails you're getting hit with are about premium seating of late. So I think calming that storm, certainly like that felt good to me. And I thought that was a good takeaway. It's surprising how like little of an opinion I actually have on the actual visual look of it. I
am kind of surprised.
I don't know. It just kind of looks like an extenuation of what the South End zone looks like. I think they actually did a nice job of if that's what it's going to look like, which I think is what it's going to look like, blending it in and kind of making it look cohesive or much more cohesive on that side. I did think the other interesting thing was that they're moving the sidelines 100 or fans are going to be 100 feet closer to the sideline, which I thought was interesting because I'm like, I don't know that there's 100 feet on that sideline. I don't understand how that's gonna.
Yeah, I know there's 100 feet to have.
Yeah,
but
well, I'm sure some engineers figured it out, and
I'm sure they did. They got the little aerial tape measure. And
yeah. Other rendering or other interesting things. So the press release was pretty good. John Sauber's article in the CDT is probably must read if you're really looking for extra information. That's where the 100 feet closer, 25% more room per seat. So I guess like probably 20 inches per seat as opposed to 18
that
inches.
adds up to this much, right?
It's not much.
No, 25%.
That would make a little bit of a difference for how crammed I've been for some games. I did think the other thing that was interesting in that article, 130 million in gifts is the goal to get to on that. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. So I thought that was interesting. And then the press box is moving to the other side. Steve, I need you to vamp here for a second. I'm choking.
Well, I think the press box to the other side will be, it was funny. Like everything was about filling the press box and what it is and that side. And so who gets displaced or what do they move or what do they retrofit over there to make that work? So that'll be a fun little part. Like, that'll be the part that the press cares about, right? That'll be the story that
right.
And the people don't care about. But no, I think top to bottom, the renderings look, I mean, there wasn't going to be anything out of the ordinary. There wasn't going to be anything crazy. It looks good, right? And I think the challenge will be, do they get to their privately funded number that they want to get to? I know they didn't have a plan for raising the money, but I guess I'm not really concerned about them getting there, right? I think people will spend money and they'll figure it out. And if not, they'll extend a loan and do something a little further to get it done. And it'll pay for it. Like God, I mean, worst case, they get to the point where they need to extend it and they have their concert and they use some of that money to whatever. Like
cover it.
You know, I think they're going to get. I don't really have any doubt they're going to get there. And it's not like they're going to stop playing or somebody's going to come say you can't play a game because you didn't pay off the stadium.
Yeah,
they'll figure it out.
Yeah, I think they're about halfway there. He said they were at 70 million. I'm interested. Like, I don't, as an average fan, I don't think those gifts or to give those gifts, like that would not be a donation that I would want to give per se. Like I would want to do things that impact on the field or scholarship type, like Nittany Lion Club.
They're putting their names on the towers. They're putting their names on the gathering areas and whatever else. Right. So that's sexy to a lot of people.
But like,
no, you want to defend.
There's only a certain number of those types of people. I'm saying like average fans, like who's giving to that aspect of it. So I'm interested to see if they finagle numbers there. So yeah, go read John's article. And then we would like your opinion on what I've now named the newest Stuff Summer Says with Steve character, Pete. What he is looking at and admiring in the one rendering, because I can't figure it out. But that was the most interesting part. That's of that.
Fair point.
So. Okay. Anything else stadium wise? Like,
Are you excited?
You know what I'm excited about? I'm actually excited about like next year of what the makeshift stadium looks like and what that will feel like. More so than anything else. I think that's going to be neat because like we're not going to really ever get to experience something like that again, or it's been a while since we've got to experience something like that. Because when they did what would be the south end zone, there weren't temporary seating there. They were adding new seating. And they didn't do that with the north end zone when they added the north end zone, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I think that's more exciting to me. I'm not as. It's not that I'm not excited. It's just I'm not as excited as I thought I would be. For
it's 2 seasons away, right? Well, 3 seasons. It started of the third season away. But like I said, it's not off the wall. It doesn't look crazy. Not that you expected it to, but I think those are good things as well.
The thing that I'm probably most excited about, that I know you're going to roll your eyes at, it seems like they're going to put the lights in that can do the like fun animation things when like Alabama. I
saw those.
I know you're super excited.
I saw those. I told you they were coming.
I want them. I've long.
People are going to love that. People love fireworks, and they love those light shows. Minor league baseball teams have made a killing on fireworks shows through the years, and the Pirates, that's all they got going for them for attendance. So, yeah, people are going to love the little lights. And too bad it's not going to be next season when they're going to be lighting up the scoreboard, you know?
Wonder where they're going to I wonder where they're going to put the weather vane.
Maybe they'll put it back where it was. It just didn't.
Oh,
it
it's
didn't-
it's
when
on
got
the
up
it's
for
on
construction.
the south. It's not on the west side. It's on the
Right,
south.
right. It's on the south.
Okay.
It just might not be as visible there, but it doesn't need to be. That'll be interesting, right? And how that fits in. But I think it probably just came down to so it doesn't nothing happen during construction.
Is the weather vane the most iconic feature of Beaver Stadium? No. What's the most iconic feature of Beaver Stadium?
They're taking it away. It's the erector set.
Well, you got the east side will still be a erector set ish.
The view. I mean, right? You could say it's the view of Mount Nittany, but you can't see Mount Nittany anymore.
No,
Once they closed the south end zone in, that was over, right?
People are still
not the Victory Bell, which is down there. You can't see that. God forbid it. God forbid it's the cheerleader that says, "Are you ready?" But
no, but that's not.
There's not a visual. No, there's not. There's not a structure. There's not. Right? Are we being too?
It is. It's the crowds.
Right.
It's the.
I mean, I don't know. So what's the visual thing? Oh, touchdown Jesus at Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
What about Texas?
The fact that the one part of their stadium looks like a giant longhorn.
Okay. Alabama.
That's a boring stadium too. I don't. That looks like a boring stadium too.
Ohio State's the horseshoe, even though it's not.
Yeah. That's the big house is just very large.
Right. I mean, I guess there's not a lot, right? Like unless you Colorado, right, has the Colorado in the end zone and the mountains in the background. Lane Stadium at Virginia Tech's okay. It's gotten more closed in through the years, and you don't see as much on the outside. So I don't know this. I don't know that I think of stadiums as having a.
I'm thinking like baseball stadiums always have like
right.
Like that thing. Like
right.
Wrigley's got the ivy and.
I mean, Iowa's got a hospital looming over the side of the stadium now, but that's not part of the stadium realistically. But that's the thing.
Well, and the other thing with Iowa is like there's 3 inches for the sideline, and that's about it.
I think that's what's going to happen here.
I'm
to get you 100 feet back.
I think that I'm interested to see. I am surprised it didn't come up, but a lot of people are speculating that the stadium will be louder. I'm interested to see if like that was any of a factor in terms of doing that. It didn't say that in the press release. It didn't really say that in the articles. That felt like an easy little layup of a PR win to get.
Yeah, we're just going to say like, yeah, like I would have thought so too. Hey, we did this. We engineered to keep the sound in and continue to maintain our whatever.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see. It would be fun to see for the people that sit on the the east sideline if like next year it seems louder, or that first year it seems louder just because it's a little bit taller, a little bit more of a wall, things like that.